GK Jain Schools, a great way to start your child's early education. Good evening, children. Let us continue with complex numbers from 12th mathematics. Actually, we are in middle of the exercise 2.7. So let us go through the properties once again. These are the properties of the arguments. I told you arguments are similar to the logarithmic, like how we apply product rule and quotient rule. Here also we'll have the same. And then we'll see about the properties of polar form. So I told you already, if it is going to be z is equal to r into cos theta plus I sin theta. And if it is going to be z inverse, it will be 1 by r into cos theta minus I sin theta. Okay. So these properties you have to go through. And also argument of z1, z2 can be written as theta 1 plus theta 2, and which is nothing but argument of z1 plus argument of z2. These properties will be implementing in the sums also. Let's move on to the sums. Let's continue with the fifth sum. See, this sum is very important 5 marks sum. Okay, there are two subdivisions to be proved here, and it has to be proved using the hint given in the question. Okay, this is very frequently asked 5 marks sum. So let us see how to do it. If cos alpha plus cos beta plus cos gamma is equal to 0, which is equal to sin alpha plus sin beta plus sin gamma. So what do you understand by this statement? It means cos alpha plus cos beta plus cos gamma is equal to 0. Also, sin alpha plus sin beta plus sin gamma is also equal to 0. So we have two hints, that is cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma is equal to 0, and sin alpha plus sin beta plus sin gamma is equal to 0. Using that, we have to prove the first subdivision, cos 3 alpha plus cos 3 beta plus cos 3 gamma is equal to 3 into cos alpha plus beta plus gamma, and second subdivision, sin 3 alpha plus sin 3 beta plus sin 3 gamma is equal to 3 sin alpha plus beta plus gamma. So let's see how to prove this. So the given hint is cos alpha plus cos beta plus cos gamma is equal to 0, which is equal to sin alpha plus sin beta plus sin gamma. So writing it individually, it is cos alpha plus cos beta plus cos gamma equal to 0, and also sin alpha plus sin beta plus sin gamma is equal to 0. So if I want to write it in the complex number format, that is in the general form, if I want to write it, z is equal to x plus iy, real part plus imaginary part. So I am writing it like that, cos alpha plus cos beta plus cos gamma plus I into sin alpha plus sin beta plus sin gamma is equal to 0. Since both the terms are equal to 0, I have made it to be in the form of complex numbers. Now I can group them, that is cos alpha plus I sin alpha, cos beta plus I sin beta, cos gamma plus I sin gamma is equal to 0. So there is another formula in algebra. If a plus b plus c is equal to 0, it is a proven result. A plus b plus c is equal to 0, then a cube plus b cube plus c cube is equal to 3abc. This result is the already proved result which we will be making use for the sums to be solved. Okay, so this is what we are going to apply here. If a plus b plus c is equal to 0, in the place of a plus b plus c, we are having cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma, sin alpha, sin beta, sin gamma. So what we are doing here, we have written them in the format, right? So I'll name this as A, this as B, and this as C. See, A is equal to cos alpha plus I sin alpha, B is equal to cos beta plus I sin beta, C is equal to cos gamma plus I sin gamma. So now what will happen, as per the formula, if A plus B plus C is equal to 0, then you can write it as A cube plus B cube plus C cube is equal to 3abc. Now I apply it for my ABC. So what will happen? So cos alpha plus I sin alpha the whole cube plus cos beta plus I sin beta the whole cube plus cos gamma plus I sin gamma the whole cube is equal to 3abc. That is 3 into cos alpha plus I sin alpha, cos beta plus I sin beta, cos gamma plus I sin gamma. So now there is another thing I already told you, it is called applying the De Moivre's theorem, but De Moivre's theorem we will be seeing in the upcoming exercises. But the concept we will be using is you have to bring the power inside the theta. I mean, you have to bring it next to the theta. So this becomes cos 3 alpha plus I sin 3 alpha, cos 3 beta plus I sin 3 beta, cos 3 gamma plus I sin 3 gamma is equal to, I can take this 3 inside. And what I have done here, cos alpha, cos beta, see it is cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. So I am writing it as cos of alpha plus beta plus gamma plus I into sin alpha plus beta plus gamma. And then, and the next step what I am going to do, I will split up and write cos 3 alpha, cos 3 beta, cos 3 gamma, see, plus I sin 3 beta, 3 alpha, I sin 3 beta, I sin, that is taking the I outside, I can write it as I of sin 3 alpha plus sin 3 beta plus sin 3 gamma, which is equal to 3, I can multiply the 3 inside, 3 cos alpha plus beta plus gamma plus I sin 3 alpha plus beta plus gamma. So I am naming it as 1. Now to prove the first part, what was the first part? We have to prove that cos 3 alpha plus cos 3 beta plus cos 3 gamma is equal to 3 cos alpha plus beta plus gamma. So from 1, what I will take, I will equate the real parts. I am going to consider only the real parts. See, what is the real part here? Cos 3 alpha, cos 3 beta, cos 3 gamma. And what is the real part here? 3 cos alpha plus beta plus gamma. So we have proved the first part. Next, to prove the second part, that is sin 3 alpha plus sin 3 beta plus sin 3 gamma is equal to 3 sin alpha plus beta plus gamma. Obviously, I will consider the imaginary parts. See, what is the imaginary part here? That is sin 3 alpha plus sin 3 beta plus sin 3 gamma is equal to 3 sin alpha plus beta plus gamma. So we have proved it. So hope you all understand the concept. So first we applied the given hint and we used the algebraic formula, applied it for the given thing, and then we have got the answer. Now we'll move on to the sixth sum. This is also similar to the example sums only. If z is equal to x plus iy, argument of z minus I by z plus 2 is equal to pi by 4, then show that x square plus y square plus 3x minus 3y plus 2 is equal to 0. These types of sums are very important, frequently asked 5 mark sums. The only concept we will be adopting is, we'll assume z is equal to x plus iy, and then wherever z is there, I'll replace it by x plus iy. Now consider my expression z minus I by z plus 2 is equal to, in the place of z I am going to make it as x plus iy minus I, x plus iy plus 2. Now shall I group the real part and imaginary part? So this will become x plus I into y minus 1 by x plus 2 plus iy. Now shall I multiply and divide by the conjugate here? If it is going to be plus, I will multiply and divide by the minus. Now I will group the real parts and imaginary parts. So what happens? X into, first I will multiply x into x plus 2, then I into y minus 1 into x plus 2, I into y into x, that is ixy, and then I into I is I square is minus 1, so minus into minus will become plus, y into y minus 1. And in the denominator, this is a plus b, a minus b. So what is that? A square minus b square. Since we are having I square will become minus 1. So minus into minus is plus. So now what we'll do, we'll multiply everything. First we'll group it. What are the real part here? X into x plus 2 real part, y into y minus 1 real part. So I have written them together, plus I into y minus 1 x plus 2 and minus xy. Now I'll multiply them. So x into, first multiply this one, x into x square, 2x, y square minus y. And here it will be xy minus x plus 2y minus 2 minus xy. So obviously xy and xy will get cancelled. So we are getting it to be x square plus 2x plus y square minus y plus I into 2y minus x minus 2 divided by x plus 2 the whole square plus y square. Now once again see the question. It is argument of z minus I by z plus 2 is equal to pi by 4. See, while starting this class also we saw the properties of argument. If it is going to be argument of z1 by z2, I told you can write it as argument of z1 minus z2. That is one of the properties. Similarly, when you are having argument of, see I will write it here, argument of x plus iy. If you are having like this, you can write that as tan inverse of y by x. This also we have used in the previous example sum. So that is what we are going to do here. So this expression of mine was converted like this, okay, after applying the z to be x plus iy. So argument of x square plus 2x plus y square minus y plus I into 2y minus x minus 2 divided by x plus 2 the whole square plus y square is equal to, what is that they have given? It is equal to pi by 4. Now argument of x plus iy can be written as tan inverse of y by x. So using that tan inverse of, what is your y here children? Y means the imaginary part, that is 2y minus x minus 2 divided by, what is your real part? That is x square plus 2x plus y square minus y. I told you in the previous example sum also, however you are going to take the denominator, both the denominators will be cancelled. So you can straight away write it as y by x is equal to pi by 4. Now shall I bring this tan inverse to the other side? So what will happen? It will become tan pi by 4. And what is tan pi by 4? What is pi? 180. 180 by 4 is 45 degree and tan 45 is nothing but 1. So what will happen? The denominator will be getting multiplied with the 1. So we'll get it to be 2y minus x minus 2 is equal to x square plus 2x plus y square minus y, and bring everything to the one side, and we are getting it to be x square plus y square 2x minus 2y plus x plus 2 minus y. Now add everything, no, whatever possible you can do. So x square plus y square plus 3x minus 3y plus 2 equal to 0, and we are getting it to be x square plus y square plus 3x plus minus 3y plus 2 equal to 0, which is what we are supposed to prove. Children, we have completed the exercise 2.7. It involved the concepts of polar form of a complex number and Euler form of a complex number. In the previous class and in today's class, we have completed all the sums of exercise 2.7. In the next class, we will be seeing about De Moivre's theorem and its applications. Thank you, children.